Welcome back into the 143. This is Under Review, coming at you live. Not really, though, because this isn't live.
I know you like to say coming at you live, and it's never actually live.
It's never really been live.
But I don't know. It's just cool to say.
It is cool to say, and it's on the back of our T-shirts that we sold. Speaking of, there's been a couple people who have talked about wanting a T-shirt. If you want if you want a T-shirt, you don't have one, or I guess if you want another one or more, let us know because we can put another order in, but we just need orders to put in.
Exactly. Yes.
Let us know about that. Nick, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great. It is episode. Is this 41?
Mm-hmm.
We have made it to 41.
We are rolling through them.
We are rolling through them.
Seems like only yesterday we were
This is
at
another
a table.
NFL episode. I feel like we do have to mention, though.
We do need to mention.
The World Series
Yeah.
is going underway this Friday, and it is between the Houston Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies.
Who
Go
saw
Phillies.
that coming? Who saw the Phillies coming? Because we did not.
I definitely did not. Obviously,
not
everyone
either.
kind of figured the Astros would be back in it. It was just a matter of who was going to win on the National League side. I know I, for a fact, am rooting for the Phillies. I know Joseph
I
is.
actually have become a diehard Phillies fan in the
I know.
last
As
week.
of this very moment,
I love the Phillies. And I don't normally root for Philadelphia teams, but
I don't either.
here we are. This is what you made us
There's a
do,
first for
Houston.
everything.
All right. So the Astros and Phillies set to square off on Friday night for game 1. And let's talk football, Nick. What a week in football.
It was a very interesting week.
Let's kick it off. Why don't we? Let's just do
do
it.
it.
Let's just roll. Stat of the week, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually an interesting stat. Brought to you by Andrews Logistics, but I think Microsoft will also be happy that we brought this stat up as well. Tom Brady has played a total of 7 games this season. And in those 7 games, he has broken a total of 3 Surface Pros. He has smashed a Surface Pro in 3 games so far. That's where he chucks it on the ground and breaks it because he's mad that his team is losing. The Bucks are now 4-3. Or are they 3-4?
4-3.
4-3, and there. That's, ladies and gentlemen, for Tom Brady, that is unacceptable.
I mean,
Tom Brady thinks they should be
he's the GOAT.
5-0.
He is a winner, and
I
so obviously he's just very frustrated because he's not used to losing. So actually,
And so
the
he's
Buccaneers
taking
are
out-
3-4. Okay, we got
I was
that
about
wrong.
to say, yeah.
I had to stat check it, but yes, Tom Brady's not used to losing. He's been a part of a winning culture literally since day one of the NFL.
7 games into a
He's
season,
gotten
Tom Brady.
accustomed to rolling over everybody and winning the Super Bowl.
He's just not used to having a losing record this early. So we'll talk about that more here in a second, but that's your stat
Here
of
in
the week.
November, though, Tom Brady will come alive.
He will.
As he always does. Now, your player of the week was Mr. Joe Burrow. And I know all you fantasy owners that had Joe Burrow were just so giddy.
Yeah,
Giddy.
I got to hear about that a lot this weekend.
I was a Joe Burrow fantasy owner. He went out there and dropped 481 passing yards, threw for 3 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he had a rushing touchdown.
Man, he accounted for over 500 yards with that rushing touchdown.
Yes, he did.
So, attaboy Joe. Also,
Getting it
a lot of people were counting the Bengals out after the first couple of games. Obviously, they lost to the Steelers and they lost to us, the Cowboys, and didn't start out great. But since then, they're rolling. They're 4-3, but they've been on like a hot win streak. Their offense is cooking.
Joe Burrow now is 2nd overall in passing yards, and he is 3rd in passing touchdowns. So good for him. Climbing
So-
back. Obviously, they, like Joseph said, they struggled at the beginning, but they're finding their steps.
Yep,
Are we seeing the Bengals of last year? Probably not. But
could get there.
I
It's a
mean-
long season.
yes, I agree.
So let's talk about this week, and I got to highlight the 2 big boys in the NFL, the faces of the league for a while, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Not only did they both lose this week, but they lost.
They lost to some pretty bad teams.
Yeah, to some really bad. So let's just talk about Brady real quick. Brady's team, the Bucks played the Panthers.
That was pathetic,
And the
to
Panthers,
say the least.
two starting and backup quarterback are hurt. So they're turning to the guy named P.J. Walker. A little bit of backstory on P.J. Walker. He went undrafted into the NFL a while ago, got cut, played in the XFL a couple years ago, led the XFL in passing yards and touchdowns, and got not drafted but signed to the Panthers, and he's been their third string. P.J. Walker comes out of nowhere, played a great game. Got to give him a lot of credit. And the Panthers just traded McCaffrey away. So everybody's thinking the Panthers have sold on the season, and then they come out of nowhere and beat the Bucks.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson was gone too.
That's right.
And their defense just absolutely shut down the Buccaneers.
I don't think their defense has shut anybody down this season. So it was phenomenal.
There's really nothing more to say. Like, they gave up 3 points to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers.
That they held Tom Brady to no touchdowns.
That was pretty impressive.
Difficult to do.
That was very impressive. And then obviously the Commanders came out and beat the Packers.
Which is impressive as well.
I mean, no one was really expecting that because the Commanders have a terrible defense and a terrible offensive line, but despite all
and
of
a
that,
terrible quarterback.
they managed to come out and beat Green Bay.
Oh, wait. No, they beat him on their backup quarterback. What am I even saying?
Yeah,
Carson Wentz is
Carson
hurt.
Wentz wasn't even there.
Oh, man, that's embarrassing.
And Green Bay is
both of
coming after a loss to the New York Jets.
So Green Bay and Tampa Bay both lose to backup quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That is embarrassing. And they are now both 3-4.
Wow.
And Aaron Rodgers has not lost 4 games in the last 3 seasons. So
that was just a big deal because those are the two. They've been the two like dudes that you think of when you think of a quarterback for the past like
Brady for the last like 15, Aaron for like the last 10.
10.
Yeah.
And
it's been about a decade.
They are failing. They are failing.
Are we seeing signs of age in both of them?
Possibly.
Definitely Aaron Rodgers. Okay, Aaron Rodgers no longer cares about football. It's pretty apparent. Everything he did and said this offseason, he just wanted to get paid, and he got paid. It doesn't seem like he cares very much anymore. Brady, I don't know what to say about Brady, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I feel like he's not even
think it's
focused anymore.
There's a lot going on with Brady off the field. With his marriage, I think there's a divorce.
He's having marital problems.
There's a divorce happening probably. But
you just question if the drive is still there.
Is it still there? That's a good question. But as we've said before, Brady comes out to play November, December. So hopefully we'll see the old Brady back.
You can't judge him in September and October because it's still early on in the season.
And new head coach trying to figure some stuff out, I'm sure. So
Right.
Hopefully they bounce back because honestly, the NFC is kind of up for grabs right now.
I mean, the Rams
are terrible.
Are not doing well. The Cardinals are meh. The 49ers.
Cardinals are 3-4. The Niners are okay, but they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Cowboys. I mean, obviously the only team that's looking really, really good right now is the Eagles.
And then obviously you have the undefeated Eagles.
But they won't be undefeated for the whole season.
No,
we'll play them again. Christmas Eve.
I was kind of holding out on the Jags to beat the Giants, but
how do the Giants keep winning? It's really annoying. They're playing terrible teams.
The Jags managed to choke it at the end there, so thank you, Jacksonville.
Appreciate that, guys. Y'all are really helpful. So C-Mac, Christian McCaffrey goes to the Niners, Nick, this week, and played this weekend. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that move for the Niners?
He didn't play a lot of snaps. I think they were still splitting reps between Jeff Wilson and Christian McCaffrey, because obviously Christian McCaffrey just got traded.
He just got there.
So, he doesn't know the playbook.
I think he got there on Wednesday.
He doesn't know anything. But I think he's obviously going to step into a bigger role, hopefully, this upcoming week, and we'll get to see the Christian McCaffrey of old,
on a really good team.
He's on a way better team with a better offensive line,
better quarterback,
better
receiving core, better defense, better everything.
Coaching staff. He is just in an overall better situation.
I love that move.
I'm kind of excited because we've seen him pop off with the Panthers, and so now we get to see him do that on a better team. So he's like almost playing on a bigger stage.
It's
kind of.
It's exciting. I mean, I'm not like the biggest Niners fan, but like
Yeah.
they're exciting to watch right now. Talent wise, they're probably the
He at
best
least
team.
gets to go out and compete for a playoffs.
I would say they're the best team talent wise right now. Obviously not record wise, but they just have all the pieces together. It seems like. But yeah, the NFC every week just looks weaker and weaker. I will say the best division in the NFC right now is the NFC East.
It is the NFC East. You got the 6-0 Eagles, the 5-1 Giants, the 4-2 Cowboys,
5-2 Cowboys,
5-2 Cowboys,
and the 5-2
you're right.
Commanders,
the 5-2
and the
Commanders,
6-1 Giants,
Yeah, they're 6-1.
and the Eagles were on bye this week. But
Obviously, the Commanders
ladies and gentlemen,
holding on to the.
I did
caboose,
not see that coming.
But exactly, yes. No one was predicting the Giants. Everyone was kind of iffy about the Cowboys because obviously they had a lot of their stars that were there last year.
We didn't do anything in the
Not
offseason.
there this year. We didn't do a good job of picking up free agents in the offseason. And then
as usual, everybody was hype about the Eagles.
Everyone was hype about that because the big thing was A.J. Brown getting traded for during the draft.
And all of you just love the Eagles for some reason, which I don't know what there is to love about the Eagles, but
They're like one of the worst fan bases, like, period.
yeah,
in all of
everyone
sports.
talks so much about the Cowboys fan base and how annoying they are. Dude, the Eagles fan base is even more
The only
annoying.
thing the Cowboy, like, they can ever dog the Cowboys on is that we always say it's our year, right?
And did
But
we say that this year? We did not.
That's really it. I mean, the Eagles fans are brutal. Like,
Yeah, Eagles fans are
they're just so annoying.
They have a
I
reputation,
don't
just
like
not as
them.
big as Cowboys fans. All right, so speaking of Cowboys fans, let's go into it. Dak came back this week. We played the Lions. Our defense was electric, shutting them down.
As usual.
So many turnovers. I think there were 5 or 6 total turnovers
There
by
were
our
a lot.
defense.
There were a lot.
Every time I looked up, I felt like Jared Goff was getting strip sacked.
Trayvon Diggs came up with 2 interceptions this weekend. That was
Attaboy Trayvon.
pretty electric. I mean, he's just doing what he does.
What he does.
Greatness.
But on the offensive side of the ball, it was pathetic. Dak came back, and he scored a garbage time touchdown. At the end of the game, we had already won, like he does. He likes to do garbage time touchdowns. That's his favorite thing. His first throwing touchdown of the season. I think Tony Pollard rushed one in. That was the other touchdown, and that was it, I think.
Zeke,
Oh, you're right. Zeke had a 1-yard run.
he had 2 touchdowns.
He had 2. Oh, it wasn't Pollard.
Zeke, I wanted to bring that up. I feel like he is playing like he was back in his prime.
It looks like he's got his
Last year,
drive back.
He was kind of in a slump, and
The year before that, he was
not
in a
the
slump.
Zeke that we're used to seeing. But this Zeke that I saw yesterday, even the one that I saw in Philadelphia the week before.
No,
I'm
I
sorry,
think
not
Zeke-
yesterday, Sunday. But anyways, he just looks a lot better. Like,
He just looks like he wants it more.
I agree.
Like he's not, like we said before, he's not dancing outside of the line.
He
He's
had
just
a-
plowing right
he had
in
a
there.
hurdle on Sunday, which we haven't seen since like his rookie year.
Yep.
He looks a lot faster. He looks quicker, and like you said, I feel like I finally see the drive in Zeke that we've all been searching
I
for.
wanna say
we've all been hoping for.
It is a contract year for Zeke. So he plays really well in contract years. He's shown in the past.
Yes.
So when the money's on the line, he comes out to play. Which I mean, I don't blame him, but I wish he'd play like this every season. Maybe he's turning it around, but I am happy with what I've seen from him.
I do like the dynamic of this Zeke that we're seeing right now and Tony Pollard. I
Yes.
think that is a deadly.
It's a two-headed
lethal-
weapon.
Yes, because
there.
obviously Tony Pollard is still more athletic and faster, but we have Zeke for when we're in the red zone and when we need someone to just bulldoze and get us a touchdown.
Pollard can't get through the middle and break loose, but Zeke can. Pollard can get to the outside.
People
and
are
break
more
loose.
afraid to tackle Zeke than they are Tony, so that's why we kind of need Zeke for those big red zone situations.
Yeah. So, other than that, I'm not liking the passing game at all.
I mean, I'll give Dak some slack because that was his first game
I
back.
won't. No, I'm tired of giving Dak slack. All we ever do is give Dak slack.
He got 1 week back. All right, next week is when I
You
will
are
be
playing the Bears next
I will be
week.
very critical because the Bears are terrible.
They are.
Okay, we're playing them at home,
We are.
and so Dak should put up at least. I want to see at least 3 passing touchdowns from Dak.
I can go with that.
At least 3.
I mean, even 2. Because, I mean, we have the running back, so it might not always be a passing touchdown. But
But I just
If
want to
you-
see some more production.
I need to see I need to see more than 30 points of offense. That's what I need to see. Because that means we're running it up and down the field, not only relying on our defense.
Well, like, even in this game against the Lions, like, we should have scored way more points.
Yeah.
Like, we got
And it was basically
we got some
17.
garbage time TDs,
It was
which
it
were
was
kinda
basically
bogus.
17-6. It was not. I mean, it was 24-6 at the end, but that was a garbage time touchdown.
Right. Obviously, defense speaks
Our
for
defense
itself.
plays
They
out of
always
its
do
mind.
Well. I guess the one downside was we saw Jordan Lewis go out with an injury,
He's out for the
possibly
season. probably.
ending. I think is what they
If
said.
not, he's.
It
Gonna
is
be out for a while.
inconclusive, but
That was not good. Yeah.
I mean, I don't wish that upon our Cowboys secondary because
Hey,
I feel
you know
like
what that
for
means?
the most part.
You know what that means?
What?
It's time for our boy Bland
That's right.
to come back in.
That's right. He got his first NFL interception. That was like a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
That was against Commanders.
It's time for him to show out.
Yes, I mean he's proven
Step
that
it up,
he
big
can
man.
he can produce.
We are
So
calling
now can
on
you do it
your
in the
number.
starting role?
So, I honestly, we're looking good in the run game and the defense, which is what carried us this last game. It is time for our passing game to show. Starting quarterback's back. We missed Cooper Rush, but he did good while he was in. But it is Dak's job. That's why we paid him. So it's time for him to step it up. And I honestly think if he doesn't this year, there's a solid chance next year he doesn't play.
CeeDee Lamb, I think, has come alive, and I think Noah Brown.
Noah Brown's been really good.
He's been proving himself to be a viable wide receiver too.
Yes,
option
he has.
right now.
Yes, he has.
Obviously, he came up huge whenever Dak went out, and it was Cooper Rush in there. But obviously, he looked fine again against the Lions on Sunday with Dak in there.
So overall, Cowboys, everything.
Dak
Let's just work on the passing game.
Dak just needs to know that there is a guy right behind you that can
Yes.
do a solid job.
Cooper Rush can do exactly what Dak did this week. That's what he's been doing.
That was my main takeaway. Is I was like, yes, I'm glad Dak is back, but Cooper Rush can go out there and put up 24 against
Yeah.
the Lions.
Dak's supposed to mean more
We're
offense.
calling you to do more. Okay, the bar is a lot higher for Dak than it is for Cooper.
Obviously, getting the win is good. A win's a win no matter what. But we're just looking ahead to the next after the bye we play Green Bay. That's a game we really need to win just for team morale.
We have Chicago and then a bye. So Dak has a nice easy
Yes.
game and then a bye week. He gets to chill
Get
out.
ready for Lambeau
And we get to go to Lambeau and take it to Green Bay.
in prime time. So that's a big game.
And Green Bay is not looking amazing. Obviously, they're still good. They're still Green Bay.
I think our defense could definitely shut down their offense, but their defense is pretty good.
I mean, that's looking as the weeks
Doable.
go on. That's looking more and more winnable.
Absolutely.
At first, I was a little shaky, but seeing how they've played the past couple weeks, we can definitely take it to Green Bay.
it's just time to get ready for that game. Use Chicago as a practice game, then take that bye week. But let's work on the passing game, Dak. That's really the only thing I saw wrong. Everything else was working really well against the Lions, obviously. But it was good to see. It's always good to see a good win like that. Just let's work on some passing. But yeah, so that's what we saw there. Tua was back this week. We briefly mentioned that.
He was.
From his concussion. He
was
didn't
a
play out of his mind.
Very underwhelming game. 16-10, I think, was the final score.
Yeah, he started the game with a pass TD early and then didn't throw another
And that
one.
was it.
But it's good to have him back. And so Dolphins, here we go.
Yeah.
Back on that train.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Tua. Here's the thing. He keeps diving head first. He dove
Yes.
head first 3 times on
You're asking for another concussion.
on Sunday, and I was like, dude, you got to chill out. Just slide, take the yards, or just
Hey.
throw it away.
I said at the beginning of the season, I love the Dolphins, and I still do. Dolphins, y'all are my second favorite team right now. All right, Let's talk fantasy. All right, you know what? I forgot to mention the Bears beat the Pats last night.
I mean,
Also, who chooses these Monday night lineups? Okay, what is the Bears versus Pats for Monday Night Football? What
And
is
that
that?
was a pretty boring game.
What even is that matchup?
Well, even that Thursday night game of the Bears versus the Commanders, it's just annoying because they choose two trash teams
Why are the Bears
for the
getting prime
Thursday
time?
night and for the Monday night game. So you have that's the only game there is to watch.
Yeah.
It's not like you can tune
We need
into
we
another
need to
game.
fix these Thursday and Monday night slots.
I don't know. I don't know who is putting these out there.
All right, now it's time for fantasy. Nick, obviously mentioned Joe Burrow. Probably the
Dropping
best
a freaking
best
39
quarterback
burger.
this week was Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
For sure. Obviously, you had Patty, who was up there as well.
Patty's
Other
doing
than
Patty
that,
things.
pretty average quarterback play all around. Running backs, Josh Jacobs went off this week. Austin Eckler went off this week. I had Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb. They did like 18 each, so that's not bad. But yeah, so those were probably the two guys that just popped off. Absolutely.
People that decided to pick up Raheem Mostert, and if you haven't, I would go snag him. He got 20 this week, and he got, I believe, 12 last week.
Let's talk about
So,
a phenomenal running back.
He
pickup.
is on the rise. His value is climbing. So if he is out there on the waiver wires, I would say go pick him up.
Absolutely. He's also the starting back, so that's
I
just,
picked him up, and that was a phenomenal decision on my part.
Let me tell
Just
you
pat
about a
myself
running
on the
back you
back.
should go pick up. Kenneth Walker. He's probably already taken. I picked him up because
Rashad Penny got hurt.
Rashad Penny's out for the season, and Kenneth Walker these last 3 weeks. This week he scored 28. Last week he scored 19. The week before he scored 14. So he's doing really
And the
well.
Seahawks have been in some very high-scoring games.
They are pushing
Their
the ball on
offense
offense.
has been just phenomenal.
So I'd go pick him
They
up.
came out and stuck it to the Chargers.
They did. Geno Smith has been playing absolutely out of his mind.
Yes.
It's looking like the Seahawks are geniuses for trading away Russell Wilson. Obviously, it's early in the season.
Nobody gave them a chance going
Not
into
even
the
us.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
I was
going
like,
into
what
the
are they
season
doing?
with Geno Smith? Are you kidding me?
So I don't know.
Pete Carroll, from the beginning, had full-on faith in Geno Smith, and I was a Geno Smith hater, but he is proving everyone wrong. Good for him.
I mean, right now Pete Carroll's looking like a genius. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, so also some interesting fantasy. Obviously, the Christian McCaffrey trade that will affect Christian McCaffrey's points a lot. Robbie Anderson, I don't think it's going to change much.
Obviously, I think he got like 10 points this week. I
Be
think
expecting a lot more
that's-
next week.
that is not going to be how he plays the rest of the season. Obviously, he's going to get more points. He's just got to get accustomed to the new offense
And then
get more offensive reps. I
Brees
know,
Hall is out for the season. We do
I
have to
know
mention that.
Mark Andrews fantasy owners are fuming right now. He put up a whopping 0.4 points.
We're not
That
really
is
sure how he
off
got that point.
One rush
One rush.
for
Okay.
4 yards.
Huh.
He was targeted twice, but did not catch the ball once.
He'll bounce back though.
I mean, Lamar has been very up and down.
Yeah. Ian has Lamar, and Ian's not happy with Lamar's performance.
Yes. I mean, he dropped what? Like 40 something, then 32, and then he's been at like 10
Yeah.
since then.
He's not been playing very well. Another thing to keep in mind, James Robinson has now been traded to the Jets.
Yes.
He'll be taking the majority of the snaps for them, I'm assuming. So, honestly, that's a good trade for James Robinson fantasy owners because the Jets are better than the Jags.
Obviously, Travis Etienne
And, yeah.
popped off, and now that James Robinson is gone, he's definitely
So,
gonna get all the
Etienne
snaps.
and Robinson owners should be
So-
happy right now.
Yes. Start
Um,
Travis Etienne.
But receiver-wise, it's really just the normal ones that play great.
Tyreek did well.
Yeah,
Jalen Waddle did
Devontae
well.
did fine.
Cortland Sutton underperformed. He got like 5 points.
Cortland Sutton will always
He's
underperform.
He's been doing double digits up until this past week. Obviously, I really have no predictions on how that's going to go down because Russell Wilson has been terrible, and then they're playing with a backup right now.
The Broncos are just, I don't know.
They're something.
They are
They're
something.
certainly something.
That's all we have to describe them right there.
Matt Ryan, out.
Matt Ryan is being replaced.
Sam Ellinger,
Yeah, so
the UT boy,
that'll be
is
interesting.
replacing him. I don't know what the Colts are doing. I'm excited to see who the Colts go after next for quarterback.
You know those 1-year veteran signings that they like to do.
Phillip Rivers,
Colts are looking
Carson
like the
Wentz, and then Matt Ryan.
They're looking like the Texas Rangers.
I'm excited to see who they go after next.
They get the old, washed up people that aren't good anymore. All right, so that's our fantasy segment. Just keep an eye on those waiver wires and keep listening to us for updates.
That's right. Here's where we like to end our shows on Under Review. I have brought you a quote by the Joe Burrow. I think people really underestimate the power of just wanting to do it and hard work and competitive spirit and preparation. That's the truth right
Facts. Joey Shiesty with some words
that's
of
coming
wisdom.
from a very successful NFL quarterback, so you take that to heart.
You do take that to heart. Thank y'all for tuning in this week. Thanks for listening to more NFL. Like, comment, subscribe to the podcast.
Yes, sir.
Follow us on Instagram and wherever else you're on social media because we're on
Share
everything.
us with your friends.
Please,
Let everyone know
please do.
what we were about.
But thank y'all for listening. We'll see you next week here on Under Review.